Hi, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a few of my sewing goals for 2026. If this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, my name's Rachel. Thanks for stopping by. Recently, I filmed a video showing everything that I made in 2025, and that's on this rack right here. So if you want to go watch that video, I have it linked down below. In that video, I go over every single piece on this rack and try it on for you guys. This is the third year I've done that type of video, so if you want to see everything I've ever made, you can watch all three of those videos if you want. But yeah, I figured since I just did kind of my annual roundup for 2025, I should set some goals for this next year, and I wanted to share those goals with you. So first, I'm going to go through all of my sewing goals and a few ideas. I'm not really calling them plans yet because they might change, but just some ideas that I have for this year. And then towards the end of this video, I can go over some goals that I have for this channel. So before I go over my goals for this year, I just wanted to kind of recap what I did last year. So last year I was pregnant for most of the year. I had a baby in August. So my main goal for last year was to just sew some things that I could wear while I was pregnant, like through my pregnancy, that would hopefully last me all the way up until I was full term, which I did. And then I was also hoping that those clothes would work for after pregnancy too. I did end up adjusting a few projects afterwards too. Some of these have been cropped a little bit, so I had made a few long shirts, and then some of the dresses that I made just needed to be hemmed a little bit. So if you want to know more about those projects, you can watch my previous video where I go through everything I made in 2025. Since I wanted to make stuff last year to carry me through my pregnancy, I didn't make a lot of really exciting things. They were mostly like cute things that I could kind of pair together and a lot of neutrals. So I made a lot of things in black and denim and white. And I feel like in my first year of sewing, I focused a lot on making like fun dresses and everything. And then my second year sewing, I made a lot of really practical basics. So now that I went and made a bunch of things for pregnancy, I think that this year I should make some really fun stuff. And since I dress pretty casually day to day, I really want to make some stuff that still feels really special even though it's casual. So like I said before, I made a lot of dresses and stuff in my first year of sewing. And I feel like I was making a lot of dresses because I wanted to make things that were exciting and pretty fabrics and everything. But now that I've been sewing for a long time, I've realized I can still use those fun and exciting fabrics to make casual clothes too for my everyday life. Okay, for example, recently I made this bag right here. So this is some fabric that I got while I was in Japan last spring, and it's this really, really fun, bold printed cotton canvas. When I made this, I was thinking, oh, this would be fun to wear every once in a while if I wanted something that was just kind of exciting. And I also made this little strawberry pouch too. So it's just kind of like a cutesy little thing. I have been wearing this every day. So this is so much more wearable than I thought it was going to be. I think part of it is that on normal days when I'm just out and about, when I'm taking my daughter to school, when I'm going and running errands, if I have like an appointment or something, I'm usually wearing pretty boring stuff. I'm usually wearing something like this, just like a solid long sleeve shirt, some jeans or some leggings, and like a sweatshirt or like a sweater or something. So I'm wearing a lot of solid colors, and then this adds some fun and excitement to my outfit. And I think that I want to have more clothing pieces like this. So like jackets, some fun pants, and that has given me a few ideas of things that I want to make. But first I will mention my second goal, which is to utilize my fine arts background more in sewing. So here on this YouTube channel, I have only really shared my sewing projects, but I have been drawing and painting for my whole life. So that is what I primarily did before I started sewing. These days I don't do as much artwork. I don't draw and paint quite as much just because I'm super into sewing right now, but I know that I always come back to it. So every once in a while I will kind of take a little break from it, or I'll just do it a little bit less than I normally do, and I do other projects. So I've just been really hooked on sewing for the last few years, and I really want to kind of combine the two. So ideas that I have for this, I kind of want to start experimenting with designing my own fabrics. And I guess I don't really mean like going and having fabrics printed with my designs on them. I mean like different methods of dyeing fabrics, painting on fabrics. So I guess the first one that I really want to try is bleach painting. So here are a few examples that I've seen of bleach painting. So you basically take a colored garment and then you take some bleach on a paintbrush and you just basically draw with the bleach on the colored garment. So once it kind of bleaches out, then it leaves an image behind. So I really want to do something like that. And my idea for this, my initial idea was to make like a gathered tiered dress, kind of a patchwork style dress with all solid colors of fabric on it. So here's an example example of like the style of dress. And if I make all of the different fabrics, like different colors or different variations of similar colors, I guess, and then after I assemble it, I could paint like floral designs or something all over it, that would be really fun. And I especially think it would be cool if all of the floral designs kind of crossed over seams, so you could tell that it wasn't like fabric that was floral that had been cut and sewn together. Does that make sense? So the floral design would not be contained within each section of the dress. It would be sprawling across the whole thing. In terms of like my floral design style, these are some floral drawings that I've done in the past, and I would just do outlines of florals on this. So I don't know. I'm still kind of deciding how I would want this to look. It's definitely not even something that I've started finding a sewing pattern for or anything. I have some tiered dress patterns saved, but I really need to go through them and just kind of imagine which one's going to be best for this project. But I think that that would be a really fun way to kind of incorporate my drawing skills in with a sewing project. Something else I think would be really fun would be sun printing. So here are a few examples of what I'm talking about. So you have like leaves and stuff on a piece of fabric and you lay it out in the sun and you use some sort of chemical. I don't exactly know how this works yet, but I'm going to figure it out. And then I'd like to experiment with other forms of eco dyeing and eco printing as well. And then something else I think would be really fun to do would be to paint on some finished clothing. So maybe to make like a pair of cool canvas pants or a jacket or something and paint some sort of cool design on it. So these are a few pictures of things that I found that I really like. So some flowers, some bright colors, and then I also just have a Pinterest board just for inspiration, images that I really like, things that I think just look cool, color palettes that I really love. So you can kind of see some of the stuff that I like right here, and I think it'd be really cool to transfer that onto like some of the clothes that I'm wearing. I basically just think that I need to customize my things with the other skills that I have too, and that would kind of tie in with the statement pieces. If I could make some like really cool statement pieces that incorporate some of my fine arts skills too, that would be really, really fun. And then just also a good way to keep me painting and drawing while I'm kind of stuck on sewing right now. If you're interested in seeing like more of my artwork and stuff, I was thinking about doing a video at some point where I kind of go through all of the crafty and artsy hobbies that I've had forever and just kind of like share the timeline and like some of the projects that I've worked on throughout the years. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. I mentioned it like a couple years ago and I never really came back to it. So if that's something you want to see, let me know. I can make a whole video about that and just kind of share some of my art and some of the other things that I've dipped my toes into. And then my next sewing goal is to make more outerwear. So far with sewing, I've made a lot of like summery things. I've made like elastic waistband pants. I've made a lot of button-down shirts, dresses. I've made some skirts, although I do want to make a few more skirts this year. Let's see. I've made a lot of basics and stuff, but I wear outerwear every single day. In San Francisco, the weather doesn't really get that hot, so every day I'm running out the house with a jacket or one of my oversized button downs or something, and I really think that it would be fun to make some more like statement-y outerwear and just like functional outerwear too. And I've seen a couple patterns for like fleece hoodies and zip-ups and stuff. I really like the idea of making this fleece right here just for something really cozy, and I could make it in like a really fun pattern or something. I have a couple fleeces right now that I am kind of holding on to, so I could see myself using it for something like this. And then another jacket that I've wanted to make for years. I've had this saved for like 2 or 3 years. It's this oversized leather jacket pattern by Vicky Sews. So I don't have leather. I've never used leather to sew with or anything, but I do have some thicker fabrics. I have this really pretty plaid wool that I've been holding on to for a long time. Before I use that, I definitely want to use something different. So maybe like a utility canvas or something that's not leather that would be a little bit unexpected, I think would be really fun to use for this sewing pattern. And then once I get the fit right, and once I kind of figure out if I actually like the style on myself and if it's something that I think that I'll wear, then maybe I would use that plaid wool for it. And then in terms of another jacket, I would really like to make kind of a Free People inspired quilt jacket. So I'm sure you guys have seen jackets that look like this. I do have some block printed cotton right now that I really want to make into a jacket like this. And I have a couple sewing patterns saved for this project. I haven't fully decided which one I'm going to use. One is the Rue Quilt Coat by Spaghetti Western, and this one has kind of like a curved hem and a big collar on it, so I'm not sure if the big collar is really my thing. With the Free People one, the collar is a little bit different and it reminds me more of this sewing pattern right here. This is the Flora jacket by Brightside Patterns. I think that I would make this a little bit longer though. I think that this is kind of cropped, and I guess the Free People one might be too. I'll have to take a better look at it, but it has like a cool curved hemline and these oversized pockets, and I really think that that collar is much more similar to the one that I imagine myself wearing a little bit more. I don't really know if I'm like a pointy big collar girl, but maybe. I've seen a few people use the spaghetti western pattern and it looks so cute. So I just have to kind of decide. I have to be realistic and figure out kind of what fits into my wardrobe. I know that sometimes things look really great on other people, but I know that I won't necessarily wear them myself. So I have to still decide on what pattern, but I definitely want to make a block printed quilted coat. And also, I guess, just some more quilted things in general. And then to finish off the sewing goals, I just wanted to mention a few skills that I want to learn this year. So one of the skills is shirring. It's when you can make fabric like stretchy using elastic thread. So this is what it looks like. So you typically see shirring like around the bodice of dresses and on the back of blouses and stuff to make things fitted but like still really comfortable. This is something that I tried learning how to do a couple years back, and I just think I didn't know what I was doing. I still am figuring out a lot of things with my sewing machines here, but shirring is one of those things that is a little bit confusing to me because I know you use elastic thread and I'm not really sure. I think you use it in the bobbin. I haven't tried it in a long time, but the first time I tried it was a disaster. I hope that just now that I'm a lot more comfortable sewing and I know what I'm doing in other areas, hopefully that would help so that when I actually try it again, that it would work. So I think I have to watch a few more tutorials about that, but that is one skill that I really want to learn how to do this year. Another thing I really want to learn how to do is some basic pattern making. So maybe even pattern altering. I don't know how to make my own patterns at all. It would be really nice to learn like completely how to make my own patterns. I think I would start with just learning how to make adjustments to patterns, because at this point I'm just kind of like guessing when I make adjustments to patterns, but it'd be really nice to kind of know where to add a curve for like a shoulder, or like how to make pants fit better. I've never made a fitted pair of pants. I've never made a fitted dress with a woven fabric. So this year I definitely want to try to make some more fitted garments that would kind of require me to be better at figuring out how to adjust sewing patterns. That being said, right now my body is like still transitioning from being pregnant and everything, and I fully expect it to for at least like the next year. So I don't want to make too many like super fitted, tailored things that fit my current body right now, because things are still going to be changing for a while. But I guess like just in terms of rise on pants and like shoulder width, that's always something that I struggle with. I know that I need to do like a sway back adjustment. I have like a really deep curve in the bottom of my back, and some of you have mentioned in my comments that I should do a sway back adjustment, and I don't really know how to do that, but this year I want to learn how to do that. And in addition to the sewing patterns that I mentioned, I just wanted to share a couple other sewing patterns that I'm interested in trying for this year, things that I think I have fabric for. So the first one is the Marigold skirt from My Keeper Clothing. This skirt looks so pretty. It has a ruffle all the way along the bottom, and then the top part of the skirt is made of a bunch of different panels. So it flares out at the bottom and it's a little bit fitted at the top. It has this like really cool movement on the bottom, and I think it'd be really fun to make this in a plaid or something. I have some like rusty maroon and brown plaid that I've been trying to figure out what to do with. So I feel like this would be really cute, and then I can make like some sort of really simple top out of it to go with this skirt. And then another pattern from My Keeper Clothing is this teddy dress right here. I've seen this kind of everywhere. I feel like maybe it's just part of my algorithm or something, but I've seen a few of these and they are so cute. So it's just a really simple dress, and it has lace-up details in the side, so you can make it fit your body perfectly. So like I said, like I wanted to make things that are more fitted and everything, but my body is still kind of transitioning right now. So I feel like this would be like the perfect type of dress to make right now. So if things continue to change a little bit here and there, this dress will probably fit me from now until I kind of settle into my new body. I've also seen a lot of people use plaid for this too, and I feel like that would be really cute for fall and stuff. I think that this would be really fun to layer with, and then also you could wear it in the summer. I think that a plaid dress for summer is really cute too. I think it would just have to be kind of a lightweight fabric. So I still haven't decided exactly what fabric I want to use for this, but I have seen this dress a few times and I think it's really cute and I want to try it. And then finally, I want to try this blouse right here. So this is the Monica blouse. It is a Japanese inspired blouse. I've had this saved on Etsy for a long time. I think it's been like a couple years now. I think that it would be really cute in just like a flax linen, something that can get a little bit wrinkly, something with a little bit of texture on the surface, but still just really simple, something that I could iron really crisp. So yeah, some linen would be really pretty to use with this shirt. I just think that the silhouette of this shirt is really cool. It's like really structural, but also kind of flowy. So you have a lot of different layers. You do have some exposed shoulder, and then it looks like it wraps around in ties. So again, having some flexibility, being size adjustable just a little bit, but still having that structure that I've been kind of missing over the last year. So yeah, at some point it'd be really fun to make this along with maybe some more like tailored or like structured looking pants to go with it. And I think what initially drew me to this pattern was the voluminous sleeves and like those really long ties in the back. So if you look at this picture, you can see that there are some really long strips of fabric. I don't really know if they tie or anything, but if you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably know I love like a drapey or like bell sleeve, and I'm really into long dangly straps or ties. Whenever I make something that has ties on it, I always end up making the ties like much longer than the pattern calls for, just because I like them to like drape and hang and move around. I know that annoys a lot of people, but I love it, and I think that would be really fun to do with this top, just having those ties already built into it. And yeah, I just think that this would be a really fun shirt to wear and something you could just throw on and it would look like an interesting outfit automatically. Okay, and then finally, a few goals that I have for my channel and just kind of what I have going on with like sharing my sewing journey so far. So the first thing I want to do on my YouTube channel is to post more frequently. So over the last year, being pregnant and having a baby and everything, I have not posted as much as I really want to. Even though I've come out with a video still like every couple months or so, I do want to be posting like 2 times at least per month, maybe 3 or maybe 4 times. I've just found that I stay motivated, I stay inspired when I'm sharing with you guys. That's one thing that I didn't really expect when I started a YouTube channel. At first, I just thought that I would be sharing and I'd be putting stuff out, but I didn't realize that I would be getting so many ideas and so much advice in the comments and just talking to people on here. And I feel like when I'm sharing frequently, I just get more inspired. I have more ideas and I just like learn a lot from you guys. So that's one thing I want to do this year. And then I want to share more frequently on my social media accounts outside of YouTube too. So I also have an Instagram and a TikTok. So this is my Instagram handle, it's madewith.rach, and this is my TikTok handle, it's madewithrach. On both of those accounts, I don't really post very often. I usually use them as just a way to notify followers on there that I've posted videos on my YouTube channel. And then every once in a while, I'll make some like short form content, but that's something that I've really never been great at keeping up on, and I want to be better about it this year. Also, just sharing more about my day-to-day life and my sewing projects that I'm working on in real time, maybe like in stories and stuff. I just feel like it would be really fun to connect with you guys more often and just to kind of keep you guys updated on all the projects that I'm doing, even if it's not necessarily something that I'm going to be filming and sharing in a YouTube video. And my final goal for my YouTube channel is to keep these plants watered. So several of you have actually mentioned these poor plants behind me. So here's how I am with my plants. In the past, I have overwatered my plants, which has resulted in them getting like root rot and dying. So with my pothos plants, I have a few of them. I know that these are supposed to be really easy to take care of, and they have become easy for me to take care of, but I wait until they look a little bit sad and then I water them. And sometimes I've watered them the morning that I'm filming, so they still look sad, but that is kind of how I take care of these plants. I'm not like the best plant mom. In fact, like I have documented evidence of neglecting my plants right after I had my first child. If you want to see, here are some photos of my dying plants after I had my first child. I have been a little bit better at taking care of my plants after having my second child. I think I figured out the balance a little bit better. But yeah, I would love to take care of these plants more for you guys so you don't have to be concerned about them all the time. Yeah, this one right here, you can see. And also I have never taken these out of these pots. I should probably repot them too. But this one looks all right, but it's starting to get a little bit sad. So I'm going to be watering this in the next few days, but don't worry. That is a genuine goal of mine, is to take better care of my plants, especially the ones that I have on camera most frequently. Okay, well, those are all of my goals for 2026. If there's anything that you think that should be a goal of mine this year, leave that down in the comments, along with any ideas that you have for my channel. If there's any project you want to watch me do, or if there's anything you want to hear me talk about, I would love to hear your ideas. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. And if you like this video, like this video. And if you didn't like this video, I hope you like the next one. All right, well, I hope you're having a good day and I will see you soon. Bye.